So the other day, I made a video about the mystery dinosaur in Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 4. Within that video, we discussed the possibility of this being the Spinosaurus, and spoilers ahead if you haven't watched that video just yet, we basically confirmed that it's another dinosaur and it's not the Spinosaurus. But that is still the most talked about topic for Season 4. People for some reason thought that this dinosaur had to be the Spinosaurus, but unfortunately it's not. However, I did tease in that video that we'll be going ahead and discussing the possibility of the Spinosaurus returning in Season 4, because I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is most likely the final opportunity for the Spinosaurus to appear in not just Chaos Theory, but in Jurassic as a whole. As we know, especially after Jurassic World Rebirth, I don't think we're going to be seeing Asset 87 anytime soon, unless we go ahead and make some kind of prequel to the creation of the Spinosaurus on Isla Sorna in 1999. Either way, I solely believe that this is most likely the last time or last opportunity we'll get to see the Spinosaurus. So of course we're going to discuss the possibility of that in today's video, because I feel as though this theory makes a lot of sense. And even if the Spinosaurus doesn't end up appearing, then at least it's a nice thought to think about. But before we get into that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because in the next few months, we have so much content coming. In fact, tonight, I actually have a flight over to the UK to play Jurassic World Evolution 3 early, so hopefully some early footage in the next couple of days will be on the channel. We've got my own Jurassic What If animated show releasing in just around a week's time as well as Primitive War on the same day. Then of course we have Evolution 3 releasing at the end of October, and then Chaos Theory in November, and then obviously Jurassic Park Survival and the unannounced video games, maybe next year or in the future. So if you're a Jurassic fan, definitely subscribe, because this is the place to be. But once you're sat back, relaxed, and got your snacks at the ready, it's time to discuss why the Spinosaurus could actually return in Season 4 of Jurassic World Chaos Theory.
Should stay locked up.
Okay, so firstly, before we get into this, we need to identify where the Spinosaurus was left off. Well, the very last time that we saw the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus was in 2016 on Manticore Island. Unfortunately, it did lose it to a fight of two Tyrannosauruses and just ran off into the wilderness on Manticore Island, never to be seen again. Now, ever since then, a lot has happened. We've obviously had Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, we've had the birth of the Indoraptor, we had dinosaurs arriving to the mainland, we had Dominion, and also Chaos Theory now ongoing as well. So there is a lot that has happened since 2016 in this timeline. So one very real possibility, considering that this dinosaur was born in 1999, is that this dinosaur could also just be dead. So keep that in mind when discussing this theory. But if we were to treat its status as alive, then how can we see it return in Chaos Theory? Well, firstly, they tried so hard to get the Spinosaurus to return in some capacity throughout the Jurassic World trilogy. In Jurassic World, they tried it. In Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, they almost got there. And in Jurassic World Dominion, it was actually supposed to be part of the final battle, but that was only word of mouth, and it didn't really get to even the storyboard stages like it did in Fallen Kingdom. So they really tried to push for the Spinosaurus to appear in a movie, and more specifically in Dominion, which is around the time that we're talking about in today's video. And considering that they really tried to make the Spinosaurus return for Dominion, now we can take a look at Chaos Theory, which is obviously in Dominion's timeline. We are now in the second half of that movie. But on top of all of this, there was one quote from Ramsey Cole in Jurassic World Dominion that, when I first watched the movie, made my heart flutter, and I was very excited because I was thinking, hold on, he's talking about the Spinosaurus here. But then as time went on and more people had opinions, you start to realize that maybe he's teasing Rexy the Tyrannosaurus, and more at the fact of foreshadowing the final battle between the Giga and the Rex. But he does say that the Giganotosaurus is the apex predator in the valley for now. And ever since he said that, I always hoped that this would mean that Biosyn actually tracked down the Spinosaurus and is now bringing it to the valley. Because the only alive apex predator in this world bigger than the Giganotosaurus is of course the Spinosaurus. So myself and many fans thought that Ramsey's comments here was teasing towards the Spinosaurus. So they could easily just write that in with Chaos Theory. But then we look at Season 1 of Chaos Theory, and it was actually teased that there was an investigation on Manticore Island, meaning that someone or something definitely came across the Spinosaurus when they went there. I believe it was in the episode where Sammy was discussing with Ben and they went and saved the Stygimolochs in Season 1, but they very briefly mentioned that line because, again, it's world building. They can't just ignore the events of the past, and they are kind of ignoring Season 4 and 5 because it's not everyone's favourite, let's be honest. But either way, that comment was made, and if somebody did investigate Manticore Island, they clearly did come across the Spinosaurus. It just depends when in the timeline they decided to investigate. And then we take a look at Dino Tracker, which was the marketing website for Jurassic World Dominion, and we know that Islasaurus species also made their way to the mainland, whether that be Ankylosaurus, Pteranodon, Velociraptor, you name it. So who's to say that other dinosaurs from similar areas of the world didn't make it to the mainland? Honestly, I feel as though there's a really cool movie here to be made, and it's expected to be some kind of mission gone wrong. But keeping on topic to Dino Tracker, they actually also tried to get the Spinosaurus, aka Project Regenesis, in the website as well, and ultimately that didn't come to fruition. Although there is one really interesting document discussing the Spinosaurus, but as for images, we just didn't get to see it. So when we take all of that in factor, that they tried to bring the Spinosaurus into Dominion, they tried to do it in Dino Tracker, and we know that there's a Manticore investigation, and we also know that Ramsey worked with Biosyn when making that quote, we also know that Biosyn are in control of the Dominion of dinosaurs in this world. So I won't be surprised if they're the ones that actually did the investigation on Manticore Island. And that would also explain how they got their hands on the brain chips to control the dinosaurs that we see in Jurassic World Dominion. They basically just used this investigation of Manticore Island just to go there, take the Spinosaurus perhaps, but ultimately come away with those brain chips. So with that in mind, I would say it's very safe to assume that they'd want to take the threatening and massive Spinosaurus to their valley, that's for sure. Especially when you read the documents of Project Regenesis and how Biosyn were actually involved in the late 1990s on this project as well. I don't know, it seems like a lot is adding up more than what meets the eye. But of course, the main thing is that fans really want to see it. It was nice to see some Spinosauruses in Rebirth, sure, but they are not the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. We all really want to see it, and especially after its misuse in Season 4 and 5 of the show, it certainly needs a redemption. But we'll wait and see. So in conclusion, the Spinosaurus is wanted by fans. It needs a redemption arc just like the Giganotosaurus is about to get in Season 4, and it almost made its way into Dominion and Dino Tracker. Then we have Ramsey's comments suggesting that something larger than the Giganotosaurus was on its way to the valley, which should be the Spinosaurus, and the Manticore Island investigation took place, meaning that the Spinosaurus was seen by somebody. It all depends on who did this investigation. However, that would most likely be Biosyn who did this, due to their leading presence and dominion in this world for dinosaurs, and the fact that they also have the mind control chips for the dinosaurs, which were last seen on Manticore Island. It makes a lot of sense. We literally see those chips in action in Dominion. So, all in all, I believe that the Spinosaurus actually has a very good chance of returning in Season 4 of Chaos Theory, but the only thing that's throwing me off from this being a possibility is that the roster may feel like it's too full of big creatures, and I'm sure they just want to focus on the dinosaurs and the bigger creatures that were featured in Jurassic World Dominion. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is why I believe the Spinosaurus will be returning in Season 4 of Jurassic World Chaos Theory. Again, there's a few bits of logic that kind of disproves this theory, especially considering that the roster is already big with Therizinosaurus, Quetzalcoatlus, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Giganotosaurus, and the fact that we never really saw the Spinosaurus in Dominion either. They may be pushing the limits just a little bit if they do add the Spinosaurus. But the story is definitely there. There's a lot that can add up, and all they have to do is just say that Biosyn investigated Manticore Island and then they took the Spinosaurus in secret, because we know how shady Biosyn can be. But I'm interested to know what you guys think. Are you hoping to see the Spinosaurus in Season 4? And do you think it will be appearing in Season 4? Head on down to the comments and be sure to let me know. But if you have nothing to say, then just leave a dinosaur emoji for the sake of engagement. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and make sure you're subscribed for your daily dose of Jurassic content here on YouTube. Again, we've got a lot of Jurassic content coming in the next few months, so you're really going to want to stick around. But most importantly, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hey, did you enjoy the video? Well, why not leave a like and subscribe for more Jurassic content? I appreciate every single one of you for reaching this point into the video and supporting me this far. If you wish to support me even further, then feel free to head on down to the description where you can find links to donate, my Patreon, and you can also press that join button to become a member here on YouTube and gain access to some awesome emojis. A massive thank you to all of the YouTube members for this month. as well as the amazing fans over on Patreon too. Your extra bit of support really goes a long way. But for now, I wish you a great rest of your day.